careful with the vacuum breakdowns. An electric shock of such power can lead to the failure of my systems, and I can't guarantee the safety of your corpse before the arrival of the funeral team.
Here you are again. Did you have time to think of how to behave during the interrogation? Remind him, R2-D3. You tell us all you know from the beginning. No lie. Confirm? You tell us all from the beginning, or violence. You tell us that you fly to the funeral, but the liner explode radicals of green universe. Confirm? You lied to me. Logo was impossible. Could not see the shuttle from space. Tell truth, no lie. Confirm?
Greetings, I'm your funerary spacesuit's built-in guide to the world of space funerals. Before we start communicating further, confirm that you are still able to read after the impact. Splendid! You've gotten into a non-standard situation. The Breathedge, when picking up any useful items, you can take out the chewing gum from your pocket. Try not to get your funerary spacesuit sticky while stick it somewhere except for your face. You deserve some words of encouragement. That's impressive. You've almost won. Remember that the funerary spacesuit isn't designed for long-term use of persons or animals in outer space. It isn't just the antenna, you'll have to go into outer space. A source of increased radiation is detected. Probably when you discover a new blueprint of an item, it is automatically added to the memory reprocessor in the kitchen, where you can create this item using the necessary resources. Probably. You've got great engineering skills. You have broken the antenna completely. Now you will need some special equipment and interphone activation codes, which are encrypted in the memory of the steering wheel if it's still intact. And great news! Using my ingenious 2-digit password matching algorithm, I managed to hack the interphone activation codes. Now all that's left is to build a cryptographic debugging station and reconfigure the interphone using these codes, which will take about 5 years with your current skills. Remember that you are still able to become depressed. Judging by the primary analysis of the destruction, most of the passengers of the liner died. This might be the biggest catastrophe in the history of astronautics, the reasons for which are yet to be clarified. If you're sure that this is exactly what was on the blueprint, then try to reconfigure the receiver. If you have any doubts concerning it, then you will eventually suffer an electric shock, and then your spacesuit will automatically take your body measurements to order a coffin from our company. Thank you for choosing the Global Funeral Agency. The rescuer's arrival time exceeds your estimated lifespan by 4,369 years. You need to get to the extraction point yourself, getting past the radiation. However, it's impossible to do this with your current skills. To increase your level, you need to create some crap imposed by the developers. It wasn't possible to determine the coordinates of the survivor. Communication only works on reception, which gives a good reason not to respond and not to be distracted, despite the objections of the hormonal system. Your interlocutor has a very sweet accent, causing fatal errors in my grammatical functions. The largest condom in the world, and also an emission of gas, most likely oxygen, are detected ahead. There's no data on the condom being suitable for an oxygen reservoir, but you can try to construct a simple balloon for distracting yourself from fatal thoughts. The service supply compartment, almost intact. They usually install oxygen stations here. You would be in luck if you managed to get inside. A damaged door scanner. You can scan the scanner with a scanner to record the scanner's damage data to the scanner's scanner protection system for emergency depressurization of the compartment. You will need a scanner. I used the word scanner 8 times. Judging by the degree of decomposition, this subject died long before the catastrophe. We have a murder here, Sherlock, and we just have to ignore it. It is unlikely that he suffocated for this, being in a spacesuit where oxygen is sufficient for an entire full breath. An unknown substance with a suspicious name. A note is written by a woman who can professionally handle stationary items. Judging by the primary analysis of the destruction, most of the passengers of the liner died. This might be the biggest catastrophe in the history of astronautics, the reasons for which are yet to be clarified.
дороги уходи, ты облака клуби.
Be careful with the vacuum breakdowns. An electric shock of such power can lead to the failure of my systems, and I can't guarantee the safety of your corpse before the arrival of the funeral team.
Фашистским поколонам Божий свин проливной загорели запылёнки, пулемётчик птица.
A lot of various goods were transported in the cargo holds of the liner unnamed. The Global Funeral Agency rented only a small part of the ship's space in the framework of the advertisement company and has nothing to do with these goods.
Погнавшись модой, русским бороды побрил, а теперь мужи седые бреют бороды свои, и как жены молодые часто выглядят они, позабыли, что мужчину угрожает. Учили нас деды, без нее нет победы. Ты обычаи предков хранишь. Волю слышат нас мужчины, пусть подумают тогда, для чего мужскому полу дана Богом борода. И от наших пожеланий не воротят пусть носы. Для начала хоть отпустят бакенбарды и усы. Борода, борода, ой, бородушка, ты лелеешь ее и ходи.
A A standard coffin at the Global Funeral Agency. The opening of the coffin will be considered an offense and an act of vandalism, but no one will judge you if you die. There can be no mistake here. This is working autonomously. You must carefully remove the station by removing two screws. Anyway, this doesn't matter anymore. At least now you have an understanding of how to assemble one. You have a set of its parts and a light taste of despair.
Здоров, всем здоров.
И кудрява голова, а головушку кудряву обрамляет борода. Без нее уже без родимой ни туда и ни сюда. Борода, борода, ой, бородушка, ты лелеешь ее и ходишь, как служили нас деды, без нее нет победы, ты обычаи предков хранишь. Славился всегда славянин своей пышной бородой, новгородец, киевлянин, старый или молодой. Ах, зачем гнов Европу все терпеть?
The shuttle was flooded with paint during the crash. Even the service center wouldn't be able to clean it from the inside. It's impossible to repair it. The paint itself also has no value after freezing. It's probably the owner of the shuttle with paint. He was engaged in illegal pumping during the crash, judging by the traces of paint on his hands and a huge hose stuck to his face. If this station doesn't explode, your engineering skills will be reconsidered. I recommend that you investigate the immediate vicinity in search of radiation protective equipment for flying to the evacuation zone. The safe is private property, and the Global Funeral Agency is indifferent to the fact of its opening. The Breathedge Global Funeral Agency. We care about your reputation. There should have been a joke about fat people here, but it didn't fit into the screen's text field. Toilet detected. Some of our clients are very sensitive about toilet talk, and therefore we included a dictionary filter which will replace the word feces with the word joy. I propose to call it Hammond, although this toilet doesn't look like a man robot.